Hello everyone, and today we're back into another Lumion Legacy video, and today I'm going to give every Lumion in Lumion Legacy a brand new move. So every evolution line will get a brand new move. So let's head right into this because this is going to take a long time. So the first Lumion we're going to talk about today is Seer Knight. It's a fire metal starter, it's really good. But if I wanted to give it a move, it honestly already has some really good moves, so I wasn't really sure what to give it. So I wanted to give it Steel Trap as a rally move. Not the most amazing move, but it could be good. You place a Steel Trap, trap them then, and then you place sets of barbs down. Like, I could see it being used on a defensive Seer Knight. So Steel Trap will be Seer Knight's new move. The next Lumion will be Luminami, and again, Luminami already has some pretty good moves, although it doesn't have a really good water melee move. It has Hydro Slash, which is alright. But other than that, Submerge just isn't the best move, and so I decided to give Luminami Aqua Jaws as a rally move. This could be really OP, considering that it could lower melee defense, but Aqua Jaws has a chance to miss. And it makes sense. I could see it. I mean, if it has Thunder Chomp and Mega Chomp and Chili Chomp, I think it should have Aqua Jaws. Now, the next Lumion we're going to talk about is Tatub. Tatub is already pretty good, but I don't want to give it any more coverage because it would probably be too OP. So, it has Barter, it has Bulk Up, so why not give it Provoke? I think Tatub should get Provoke as its rally move. I think it would be very good, actually, on it. It has a pretty solid speed stat, and it can provoke setup users. Yeah, I could see that being pretty good for Tatub. So, Provoke is Tatub's new move. It will be rally move. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Valkyrie. And Valkyrie is a very interesting situation because it's kind of a mix between Wall Breaker and, like, bulky offensive type Lumion. So I wanted to give it a move that would work well more on the defensive side of things. Because offensively, I think Valkyrie's pretty good. So let's give it Reflection Burst. Make it so if it gets hit first, you could do a ton more damage. So it will be Reflection Burst as a rally move for Valkyrie. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Vesperatu. And this is a dark type Lumion that has pretty much every dark type move besides Baffle. But except for one. I mean, it has Blood Drain, it has Tease, it has Slapdown, it has Mega Chomp. It technically doesn't have Gnarly Gash yet, but I will give it here. It might be a level up move in the future. Let's give it Provoke. Let's give Vesperatu Provoke as a rally move. Imagine the opportunities with a offensive Vesperatu. You could stop someone setting up, and then you could slap down their item. I think Provoke would do pretty good on Vesperatu. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Himber. And Himber is already pretty powerful. It just got Rogue Assault recently. Although, I personally don't think Rogue Assault is that good on Himber. I'll make a video about why Rogue Assault isn't effective on Himber in the future. But I think it needs another move. And I have two options. Brawn Boost or Slumber. Personally, I think Slumber would be the better move on Himber because it wouldn't have any setup. And with bulky offense, it makes a lot of sense. And it also makes sense with Himber's design. Again, this would also be a rally move. So Himber would get Slumber as a rally move. And then the last of all the starters would be Zulong. And Zulong is already pretty powerful. It is already confirmed that Zulong will get Fire Breath in the future, so I'm not going to say Fire Breath. Instead, I'm going to say Frost Beam. Zulong will get Frost Beam as a rally move. So yeah, all the starters get a brand new rally move, but all the other Lumions, they can get either MMs, rally moves, or level up moves. So the next Lumion we'll talk about is Umbrat. And Umbrat is pretty powerful. I mean, it just got buffed recently with Chase Down. But I do want it to get more coverage. But I'm not going to give it Chili Chomp. I think Chili Chomp might be a little bit too much. Instead, I'll give it Fade Away. It'll have a Spirit type move, which can hit those pesky Spirit types, and it can pivot. It'll make Umbrat actually really powerful. The next Lumion we'll talk about will be Luxor. Luxor is pretty good already, but if I wanted to give this thing a move, I kind of don't know what to give it. By the way, Umbrat would get Fade Away from an ML, because I can't give the Rats rally moves, because otherwise Luxor and Eclipse could get it, so that wouldn't really work. Speaking of Luxor, it will get High Pitch Screech as a level up move. It'll go through Scapegoat, do a solid amount of damage, and it would give it a move that's not Resonate. So, yeah. As for Eclipse, I'm really not sure what to give to Eclipse. Should I give it a support move? Should I give it an actual move? and I decided to give it Spectral Burst. It can hit Nevermere now. It can hit Mutagon for quad effectively. It can hit Aerosol quad effectively. It can do a lot of good stuff, but it doesn't make it overpowered in my opinion. It's already overpowered as it is, but I don't think Spectral Burst would make it more powerful. And the reason is why is because Eclipse has 4 moves. You'll have to drop either Disperse or Raging Howl. If you drop Raging Howl, you can't hit other Eclipses. And if you drop Disperse, you can't set up. So I think Spectral Burst would be a very good move that adds to Eclipse. And Spectral Burst would be an MM onto Eclipse. The next Lumion we'll talk about will actually be Cinnamoth. And I will give this Jetstream as a rally move. It needs a more powerful air-type move. I mean, Airblade is not going to cut it. So let's give it Jetstream, a more powerful air-type move. The next Lumion I'll talk about is Sumo Beetle, and I will give Sumo Beetle Blaze Punch. Sumo Beetle will get Blaze Punch as a level-up move right after Fire Slam. So yeah, I'll give this thing Blaze Punch. It would be very good for the Double Strike Sumo Beetle. While if you nerf Fire Slam to 60, that would be good for the Guru one. The next Lumion I will talk about is Avatros, and Avatros is a hard one. I have no idea what to add to Avatros, but if I wanted to give Avatros a move, I'm going to give it Rogue Assault. It can hit those Ice types now. It can hit those Ice types super effectively, still Brawn boosting, and it will give it a move that doesn't actually recoil itself. This might honestly make Avatros really powerful. It will be given as a rally move. Swolder is the next Lumion we'll talk about. And if I wanted to add something to Swolder, you might be shocked about this one. I will give it Clay Slap. It could lower the opposing Lumion's speed, it can hit fire types now, and Clay Slap would be given as a rally move. So yeah, a new coverage type option for Swolder. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Florant, and my goodness, Florant needs a lot to be powerful. Like, this thing might be considered one of the worst Lumions in the entire game, but I know a good move that can help it. Battering Ram. It has a pretty solid melee defense stat, so if you give it Battering Ram, you can actually use that bulk very effectively. And then if you combine that with Sat Plan and Dodge, it will actually make Florant pretty dangerous. It's still weak to a lot of different typings, but it will at least make it hit decently hard. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Terrafly, and I have no idea what to give Terrafly. I don't want to give it a rally move because it'll be given to Terraclaw. I don't want to give it a new level up move because it's a very tough position. I kind of don't know where Terrafly can go from here, honestly. So I decided to give it Ill Will as an MM. It will be good if it's burned, so you can do a ton more damage. It'll be very nice just having a normal type move in general. So I'll give it Ill Will as an MM. And then the next one is Terraclaw. Again, I'm not giving Terraclaw a rally move because it'll be given to Terrafly, but this one, I'm going to give it Stratagem as our level up move. Yes, this thing will get Stratagem, hopefully. The reason why I think this will work is because you can utilize its really high range defense to its advantage. You can actually hit Obsidian and Tundraland now. You can actually hit toxic types. And the thing is, with Terraclaw, it relies on Parasitize to get HP back. So if it's using Stratagem to hit harder, it's not going to get that much health back. So I don't think it'll be that OP. Plus, you got to drop one of its moves. You got to drop either Ear Stare, you got to drop either Cyclone Slam. So I think Stratagem would be very good on Terraclaw, and it would make it insanely good. The next Lumion I will talk about is actually going to be Ragoon. Ragoon is pretty meh right now. I do think it really needs a new move to really help it out. And I will give it Spite. Yes, this Lumion will get Spite. This will be huge for Ragoon, because it's going to be it's a faster Lumion that's more offensive that can take abilities away. So if this thing gets Spite, that would be huge for it. The next Lumion I'll talk about is Borak, and I have no idea what to give Borak. If I give it a move that's OP against Spirit types, this thing would be busted. But I do have a move option I could give it. Clay Slap. This thing does not have Clay Slap yet, so let's give this thing Clay Slap so it can lower the speeds of the opposing Lumions. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Eliguana, and Eliguana needs a lot. It needs a lot, honestly, because this thing really isn't that good, considering all the number of plant types and earth types which are in the game. So, I mean, all it has is light and electric type moves, and that's it. It has earth covers, but it still can't hit plant types. So, we're going to give it a move that can actually hit plant types neutrally. Dissonant Chord. It's an 80 power range type move that can actually neutrally hit plant types. So, it's an option now for Eliguana. It can actually hit plant types okay. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Gas Stroke. And honestly, Gas Stroke is honestly kind of underrated. I do think it's pretty good, especially with Tamp and Peace of Mind. Although, I will give it Charade as a rally move. We'll give it Charade, so it can lower the opposing Lumion's range defense. I don't think it'll be that good on it, but it'll be something to run. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Wiki Wiki, and Wiki Wiki's probably the worst Lumion in Lumion Legacy. So, let's add to the support gang. Let's give it Baffle. Let's make it so it can actually pivot in and out. So I think that would make Wiki Wiki pretty alright. The next Lumion we'll talk about is going to be Chartiki. By the way, Wiki Wiki has Baffle as a level up move, not a rally move, because Chartiki would get it. So yeah, Chartiki would get Peace of Mind, and this would be a level up move. This could also be an MM as well, but I think a level up move would be better for Chartiki. So yep, Chartiki gets Peace of Mind. Waka Laka is next, and let's just add to the coverage with Waka Laka. It already has amazing coverage, let's give it even more. Shrewd Blast, rally move. This thing gets Shrewd Blast, and it has a move that can hit through dodge now. So, that's very nice. That will help Waka Laka a lot, especially against ancient types. Sachi is next, and I kind of don't know what to give Sachi. Sachi already kind of has everything, so we'll just give it Shrewd Blast. It will never use it. It will be a level up move. Like, it will never use it. But hey, if you want it as an option so you can hit things that have dodge, go for it. It's an option now. It will be a level up move on Sachi. The next Lumion is Cinemars, and Cinemars is extremely hard. I didn't want to give it extra coverage because it would probably make it pretty powerful, but I gave Cinemars Bulk Up. This will increase its melee bulk. This one might be a little bit OP considering it's already a ranged tank already. So if you can increase even one side of melee defense, it might be overpowered. But if it's using Hasty, it's still going to miss its attacks. So you either run Sharpen to not miss, or you run Bulk Up to increase bulk, but you still miss. That's what I'm going with here. We'll give it Bulk Up as an MM. Now, the next Lumion we're talking about is Ventation. And I am not giving Ventation Rejuvenate. I don't care what anyone else says. We don't need many more Lumions with Rejuvenate. Instead, I have a very interesting move I'll give the Ventation. Pure Water type, right? Let's give it Raging Flame. Yes, a Fire type move on a Water type. There is a reason why I do want to give it Raging Flame, is because it does have a Geyser on its back. I mean, it has the move Geyser, which can cause a burn. So, what if that thing causes a Raging Flame? Why not have a move that can guarantee a burn? It could pretty much make Ventation a very overpowered melee tank. So, let's give it Raging Flame as a rally move. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Ursul. And let's give Ursul a stronger Spirit type move. Let's give it Soulstorm. It would not be used on a Sharp Claws Ursul, but it will be used on the secret ability. So yeah, Soulstorm. It will be a level up move. Same with your snack. Your snack will also get Soulstorm as a level up move. So, some stronger Spirit type moves for these fellas. Not sure if they're going to use it too much, but you never know. It's another option. Next will be Revenine, and honestly, Range Revenine is alright. I don't think Range Revenine needs a new move, but let's give a new move for the Melee Revenine. Let's give it Gnarly Gash. Yep, it will get Gnarly Gash now. 90 power melee move that has a chance to lower melee defense. And that will be a rally move. The next Lumion will be Erupt the Dawn. And let's give Erupt the Dawn Clay Slap for the melee side. It already has Earthquake, but it does have 77 speed. It's not that fast. So if we give it Clay Slap as a rally move, it can actually outspeed that Lumion. So yeah, let's give it Clay Slap as a rally move. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Crackalola, the Volcano Lumion. And we're going to give this thing Mudslide. It's a stronger, Mudspatter, does a tiny bit more damage, while also getting rid of Barbs at the same time, meaning that you do not have to run Burn Up now, which that would be nice for Crackalola, actually. You still kind of want Burn Up for setting up and for those air types, but it's a stronger Earth type move, which would help it a lot. And Mudslide would be a level up move for Crackalola. Then the next Lumion would be Vocaloa. And Vocaloa would get Outburst. Extremely powerful ancient type move. And combine that with Brawn Boost, oh my gosh, this thing would be powerful. This would also be a level up move for Vocaloa. It would be a lot better than Savage Greed, because Savage Greed misses. Who would ever want to use a move that misses? The next Lumion we'll talk about is Festifer. And Festifer is very flawed, so let's fix its massive problem. Offensive Festifers are way too slow to be massive wall breakers. So let's give it Bane of Haste. Give it Bane of Haste to outspeed everything after you use it. You're one of the slowest Lumions in the game, so if you get a Bane of Haste off, bang! Offensive Festifer can now pop off. Next Lumion we'll talk about is Obsidian, and I am not sure what to give Obsidian. I definitely want to give it a stronger Ancient type move, but it's either Outburst or Savage Greed. I think I would give it Savage Greed because I think Outburst is a little too much, especially when you combine Beast Slumber. So let's give it Savage Greed. It's a move that can miss, but it is way more powerful than Primal Slash. That will be a rally move for Obsidian. The next Lumion we talk about will be Trumbull, and instead of... what is that move called? It's the move that increases your melee bulk and melee attack, but it also clears your status, but uses more energy. Battlehorn, that's the move. Well, it gets bulk up now. Let's give it bulk up as an MM. So it has the option now to use either the lower energy use bulk up or the higher energy used Battlehorn. Next will be Mewtwo, and if I were to give Mewtwo something, it would probably be Hypnotize as an MM. Yes, we are having a Hypnotize Lumion. I mean, it has a harp on his head. I think it makes sense that Mewtwo should learn Hypnotize. And it is a lot slower than Laracat, so it isn't going to be quite as annoying in my opinion. So, there are a lot of things that can't outspeed it, so it is an option. Gobodemic. Let's give Gobodemic a more powerful air-type move. Let's give it Jetstream as a rally move. So, has a more powerful Jetstream. Offensive Gobodemics would be a lot better now. The next Lumion is Icicle, and I do not know what they give Icicle. Icicle has improved so much over the years, and I don't want to make it broken. But we're going to give it a new melee move. Instead of Mega Chomp, it's going to get Gnarly Gash now. So yep, as a level up move, Icicle will get Gnarly Gash. The next Lumion to talk about is Ferroglyph. Ferroglyph's another hard one because I don't want to make it extremely powerful. It already has a lot of good moves on both sides. But let's give it a better Brawler-type move on the melee side. Let's give it Mega Punch. It has Hop Kick, but let's give it Mega Punch. So it gets Mega Punch as a rally move. Now, the next Lumion we'll talk about is Garbantis. And oh my gosh, this one was so hard. I didn't want to make Garbantis overpowered. This one was a hard one to add. But the Brawler and Bug, let's give it Slash. Alright, let's give it Slash. The reason why I want to give it Slash because it makes sense. I mean, look at this. Has a chance to crit. Will be great for the secret ability Garbantis. And it also makes sense with Garbantis' design. So, Garbantis will get Slash as a rally move. Stratosaur. Add a new move for offensive Stratosaur. Energy Surge is only not 70 power. Let's give it Gamma Pulse. So, Gamma Pulse does 80 power. A stronger, like, type move. And it will be a MM. It will be a move manual. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Diborg. Diborg will get Game Drain as a rally move. It surprisingly doesn't have Game Drain yet. So, if we give it Game Drain, it will be huge for setup sweepers, especially when combined with its secret ability, Handy. That would be massive for Diborg. Now, the next Lumion we'll talk about is Tyrex. And Tyrex is a hard one because I don't want to make it extremely overpowered, but this move might make Tyrex broken. Let's give it Body Crash. It's a giant mechanical T-Rex, and it's massive with pretty high melee defense, but it doesn't have bulk up to set up. If we give it Brawler coverage to hit Stratosaur, it might be pretty good. I don't think it will be broken with Body Crash neither. I think it would be fine. Let's give it Body Crash as a level up move. Now, the next Lumion we'll talk about is Munchwheel. And Munchwheel already has barbs, but let's give it a better dark-type move. Let's give it Gnarly Gash as a rally move. So yeah, Munchwheel will get Gnarly Gash as a rally move. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Gardrone. And I have a very fun thing for Gardrone. I'm not going to give it a rally move. I'm not going to give it a level-up move. I'm not going to give it an MM. Instead, if we use 2 of every single core, even the Quantum Cores, you will learn Elemental Burst on Gardrone. If you use all the cores, the Fire cores, the Frost cores, the Electric cores, and the Quantum cores and Power cores, you get an Ancient type Elemental Burst on Gardrone. So yep, Elemental Burst will now be an option. The next move I want to add for Hunter is Mega Kick. It already has all the chomping moves. It doesn't need another chomping move, but it's a dog. Dogs can kick. It has some very powerful legs, so let's give it Mega Kick. And that will be a level up move for Hunter. The next Lumion I want to talk about is Arpygo. And Arpygo has already some good coverage, but let's give it even more. Instead of having Thunder Strike as your main move, let's give it Muck Blast. It makes sense. Look at Arpygo's design. Let's give it a Toxic type move. So, it'll get Muck Blast as a rally move. The next move would be Skellic. Skellic is a hard one because it already has a lot of moves already, but again, it's another Lumion that only has Mega Chomp as its Dark-type melee move. So let's improve it to Gnarly Gash. This should get Gnarly Gash as a rally move. Yep, all the fossils will get rally moves. The next one we'll talk about is Joltooth. Joltooth is pretty powerful, but it doesn't have that good coverage besides Clay Slap and Bamboozle. It will probably use Clay Slap, but let's give it Mega Chomp. I'm not going to give it Gnarly Gash because that would probably be too much for Joltooth. But let's give it Mega Chomp, and let's see how Joltooth would do with it. It can actually hit those pesky plant types now. The next Lumion we'll talk about will actually be Infernix, and this one will be amazing for Infernix. It is outclassed by pretty much every fire type at the moment, so let's make its secret ability super powerful. Let's give it Zip Zap. Not only that it can hit water types super effectively, but it can pivot out, and it can use its secret ability to its full advantage. So yeah, I will give it Zip Zap as a rally. The next Lumion will be Dorgo, and I'm shocked this Lumion does not have this move yet. Dorgo should get Egg Storm. It should get Egg Storm as a rally move. I mean, it's holding a freaking egg. It should learn Egg Storm. The next Lumion that I want to add a move to is Mulmurk. And I will give Mulmurk Body Crash. I mean, it's fat, it's thick, it's very bulky, and it makes sense. It helps with coverage as well. So that'll make Mulmurk really powerful. The next Lumion I want to add a move to is Meditoad, and I want to add Body Slam to it. I mean, it makes sense. It's a giant toad. Let's add Specialization Body Slam to the picture. That would be huge for Meditoad. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Blotox. And we will actually give Blotox Mega Chomp. So it can actually hit with Dark-type moves now. So that's big. New move for Barblast. It will get Provoked. So it will help. That will help Barblast a lot. Because it does usually have an open move. So you add Provoke on it. And you can just completely destroy setup sweeping. Next Lumion we'll talk about is Garlash. And it makes sense. I mean, Garlash, Gnarly Gash, Gash, get it? So, this thing should learn Gnarly Gash. This would make it really powerful now, thinking about it. So yeah, Gnarly Gash as a rally move to Garlash. As for Deludrix, don't know what to add on it. If I add anything, this thing would be super overpowered. So, I'm going to add it a not very good move. Tease. Let's give Deludrix Tease as a rally move. You may think it's worthless, because it kind of is. But I can actually see Tease kind of be used on a Bezeldu. So who knows? Tease might be used in some certain situations. So yeah, Deludrix will get Tease as a rally move. The next Lumion will be Colossotrops. Colossotrops has a very high melee defense stat, so let's give it Body Crash. I mean, it just got Rogue Assault, but let's give it Body Crash just so there's an option. Another option for Colossotrops. Next Lumion we'll talk about is Hogganosh, and we will give Hogganosh Earthquake as a level up move. So instead of Muck Buck, which does 85 power, let's give it a 90 power Earth type move that can hit both Lumions. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Mocho. And Mocho will get Provoke as a rally move. Another dark type support move for Mocho, so that's nice. Next Lumion we'll talk about is Spreezy, and Spreezy is really bad at the moment, even with Tamp. I mean, Odasho is better than Spreezy at the moment. So let's give it a brand new move, Battering Ram. Now it can use its abilities to its advantage. It can use Tamp and then hit extremely hard. Yes, Battering Ram for Spreezy. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Whipple Drift. And it has all the other Spore moves besides Toxic Spores. So we will actually give Whipple Drift Toxic Spores as a rally move. I don't think it will use it. I think it'll still use Snore Spores. But now that Toxic Spores is an option, that could be very nice for it. Give a nice advantage for Whipple Drift. Now we're into the Varis, and all the Varis get level up moves because if I give them rally moves, you know, all the other Varis would learn it. So these are just level up moves. For Servalan, I would give it Raging Tackle, a more powerful body slam. So yeah, that will definitely help Servalan, especially the Vengeance one. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Wyndolin. Keep in mind, all the Varis are level up moves, so yeah. Wyndolin would get Soulstorm, a more powerful Spirit-type move as level up. Kirlin will get Draco Beam. That will be huge for range Kirlin, because it does actually have an okay range attack, so let's give Kirlin Draco Beam as level up move. That'll be huge for it. Plus, it will give us a Lumion that is not exclusive to events to have Draco Beam as a level up. Next one is Zeppelin. It will learn Jetstream as a level up move. The next one is Venolin, and Venolin will learn Muck Blast as a level up move. Wrestlin will learn Mega Punch as a level up move. It makes sense. I don't know how it doesn't have Mega Punch yet, but that's besides the point. Buzzlin will learn Parasitize as a level up move. And we got Tundralin. Tundralin will learn Boom Bash as a level up move. So, an option for ranged Tundralin is now a thing now. Well, it isn't really. It's just my idea. Like, what I say doesn't guarantee being in the game. I mean, these are just my move ideas. And Pyrolin. Pyrolin is hard, but I'll give it Mudslide. Amazing for it. You can get rid of Barbs now, which is huge for Pyrolin. And all of those are level up moves. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Oxy Drake. And I will give Oxy Drake Body Slam as a rally move. So that will help it a lot. Man, Harvesect is a hard one. I don't want to give it Rogue Assault because that would be too overpowered. But instead, I will give it Brawn Boost as a rally move. It has more setup now. So yeah, Brawn Boost. That could make Harvesect really threatening. Next Lumion we'll talk about is Wintrix, and we'll give it a more powerful air-type move. We'll give it Jetstream, and it will learn it as a level-up move. The next Lumion I'm going to talk about is Snagoop, and I don't really know what other moves I'm going to add to Snagoop because I don't want to make it too overpowered, so let's give it Return to Sender. It will get Return to Sender as a rally move, which that could actually make Snaggle pretty scary now. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Circame, and we will give it Provoke. Giving it another support move would be very nice for Circame. And also, its Provoke will be a rally move. Banfino will get Recycle from a rally move. So, it's the only Lumion on this list that will actually learn Recycle, which will be very helpful. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Cannabo, and let's just give it the most powerful move possible, Rogue Assault. I know it already has Clawbear, but let's give it a move that does 20 more damage and doesn't recoil. So yeah, amazing for ambush Cannabos. Clawbear would still be the option, though, with the Madcap ones. Sandmarine. What would I give Sandmarine? I would give it Accelerate as a rally move. Is it kind of useless? Yeah, it has Rev Up, but it makes sense. I mean, it has a propeller on its back. Accelerate makes so much sense to add on it. And it would be a rally move. Next Lumion will be Lumello, and I will give Lumello Body Crash as a level up move, making that melee defense actually kind of useful now. Next Lumion we'll talk about is Tershino, and it will learn Gnarly Gash. Gnarly Gash should do a ton of damage as a new Dark-type move for it. Larracat's up next, and the move I would give Larracat is Flabbergast as a rally move, so it's an improvement over Headache Split, unless they're hypnotized. So you have another option there. You can add Flabbergast to your team, and it's a rally move now for Larracat. Boonary, I don't know what move to add to Boonary because, you know, there isn't really any moves you could really do to Boonary because it becomes the next Lumion, but I'm surprised it doesn't have Impersonate. Let's just give Impersonate to Boonary. It will never use it unless there's another Boonary, but hey, I mean, it makes sense. It's the Imposter Lumion. Why doesn't it not have Impersonate? So, yeah, we'll give it Impersonate. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Cinogre, and we will give it Tease as a rally move. Very helpful for defensive Cinogres. As for Sorelli, Sorelli is almost never used on the melee side, so let's give it Headbutt. If we give it Headbutt, it'll be huge for those melee Sorellis. Fishkarna is up next, and Fishkarna will learn Return to Sender as a rally move. That's going to be big for this, because this thing has a lot of range defense, so that will help Fishkarna a lot. Baneki will learn Mega Kick. It makes sense, it has legs. Will it ever use it? No. But it should learn Mega Kick. I mean, it's a bunny, it makes sense. Seadrake is up next, and Seadrake will learn Temper Thrash as a level up move. This will be good for the non-anomaly Seadrake. So if you're not anomaly, you can actually run Temper Thrash on it. And yeah, Temper Thrash would be a level up move for Seadrake. Helvantic is up next, and we will give it Thunderclap as a rally move. Yes, it is weaker than Thunder Crash, but it'll give you a better electric-type move that doesn't actually recoil you. Plus, you can also flinch the opposing Lumions. So, I think Thunderclap would be better than Thunder Crash in the long run. So, yep, Thunder Crash is a rally move. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Inferior. It doesn't actually have many melee Dark-type moves, so let's give it Mega Chomp. We'll give it Mega Chomp as a level up move for Inferior. Now, let's get into Holly Bunch. And we will give Holly Bunch Stratagem. It has an extremely high defense stats on both sides. So if we give it Stratagem, this thing would actually hit very hard now, and it doesn't have to rely on its energy stat as much. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Barbadger. And Barbadger's already pretty powerful, but let's make it even more powerful by adding it Raging Tackle coverage now. So, yeah, 120 power Raging Tackle. You can now hit Barblast extremely hard, even though you already have Clay Slap. But hey, it's another option. And the final of the main Lumions is Dracodyne. And we will give Dracodyne Talent Trade as a rally move. Oh man, with that Anomaly ability and talent trading it to another Lumion, that could be extremely fun to use. So, we will give Dracodyne Talent Trade as a rally move. Now, let's get to the Roamers, and I'm really excited to talk about the Roamers. They all get rally moves, so these are all rally moves. As for Dusket, Melee Dusket is kind of lacking at the moment, so let's add it Brawn Boost. Let's give it Brawn Boost for Melee Dusket. It will make Melee Dusket actually kind of powerful, considering it does have Shadow Sprint. We got Ikazune, who, for Ikazune, again, I want to improve Melee Ikazune, because it doesn't have that much coverage on the Melee side yet. So let's give it Mega Chomp. Mega Chomp as a rally move. So now we're at the Protogon, and with Protogon, I will give it Shrewd Blast as a rally move. It will be a move that can neutrally hit Metatoad and Chartiki. Plus, it will go through dodge. And if you get +1 range attack, that will help Protogon a whole lot. So yeah, Shrewd Blast would be Protogon's move. Mutagon, this might be overpowered. But if Mutagon does get the secret ability nerf, it should learn this. Slapdown. Slapdown is a rally move. If Mutagon does get that nerf with the secret ability, I think giving it Slapdown is a very good option, because it will lose priority. Now, Cephalops is up next, and we will give Cephalops Gnarly Gash. The reason why we'll give it Gnarly Gash is because, other than Aqua Jaws, it doesn't have any melee moves, so let's give it Gnarly Gash. So, Melee Cephalops is now an option. Next Lumion we'll talk about is Elephage and Phage Knot, and we will give them Energy Surge, and light-type move that doesn't force you to swap out. Amazing for offensive Phage Knots. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Metronet, and we will give Metronet Spectral Burst. So yeah, has a move that can hit Ursul and Mutagon super effectively now. Next Lumion is Wobelisk, and I'm not adding Wobelisk Rejuvenate, don't worry. It doesn't deserve Rejuvenate, it would be too overpowered with it, and it doesn't need it. Instead, let's give it Provoke. Let's give Wobelisk Provoke as a rally move. The next Lumion will be Nimue, and Nimue just got buffed with Incandescent. So let's buff it even more. Let's give it Nova Blast as a rally move. The next Lumion we will add a move to is all of the Cosmere forms, and we will give it Return to Sender. Doesn't have the highest range defense, but hey, it can be fully utilized with that high HP stat. The next Lumion we'll talk about is Nevermare, and it only has 50% chance to crit with its move, so let's make it 100%. Let's add Buck Up as a rally move. Buck Up as an option. 100% crits. Let's go. No more RNG. Akalos is the next Lumion I want to talk about, and let's just increase range Akalos a little bit more by adding it Brain Freeze. So, it will be the only Lumion that has Deep Freeze and Brain Freeze, which would be amazing for Akalos, especially the ranged ones. All Gargolem forms will get Shrewd Blast, and that is quite specifically to hit Obsidian on its ranged side super effectively. So, yep, all the Gargolem forms will get Shrewd Blast. In the final Lumion we talk about today will be Celesting. And I want Celesting to get Steel Trap as a rally move to trap the opposing Lumions in. And that is it. If every Lumion were to get a new move, those would be the moves I would add. Just because I talked about these Lumions getting these moves, it does not mean that these moves will come into the game. These are just my predictions, and JamiyJamie can do whatever the heck he wants. If he wants to add these moves in the game, awesome. If not, it's down to him. It's his decision, and I believe that JamiyJamie will make the right decision that make Lumion Legacy PvP fair and fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of me talking about every Lumion getting a new move. If there's some moves I missed, and if you want your Lumion to get another move, tell me in the comments below. That'll be the end of the video, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!